Send me away via subspace. Beam me a message from home. Cast me a hello in hollow. Tell me I'm not all alone. The corridors are narrow and the rations miss the mark as we fly like Xeno's arrow past the sparkles in the dark. I think of home and what I miss is picnics in the park. Though send me away via subspace. Chat me a line or two, because though we grow distantly, relativistically, I'm coming home to you.
Who's the guy who can conquer death? That's Joe Hills. He plays for Nashville when he plays Minecraft. That's Joe Hills. That's Joe Hills.
Bring on the creepers, bring on the flames. Here comes the legend, the bravest of brave. Fiercer than lions, more southern than you. He's conquered our hearts, and he'll conquer hell too. Joe Hills. I'm headed down to somewhere, got my pickaxe in my hand. Yes, I'm headed down to somewhere, got my pickaxe in my hand. I'm headed down to somewhere, God knows where I am.
Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, so guys, you might be looking at the clock and going, Joe, this is a very early stream for you. It's not even 5 a.m. there in Tennessee. Let me tell you what happened. At about 8 o'clock last night, I said, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit, and then I'll stream after a quick nap. And then I slept for 8.5 hours. So, good morning. This is my creative process at work. So I'm glad that you guys are able to join me here today. We have successfully set up the stream, so we are going to go ahead and remove that there. But I am glad to see everybody today. It's fun to do a little bit of a different time stream, get to see different folks. Ozathoth joining us on Mixer. Welcome Dungo as well, and Peter the Brewer. Glad to have you guys. Welcome Melon Tunes. Yep, I'm down here in slot 7. Got my green screen, so my green screen tank top works. Cyber Legend writes, well, in Germany here it's 11:47 a.m. Yep, I'm saying good morning to Europe, and it's actually true for a change. Usually when I say good morning to them, it's still nighttime or afternoon over there. Samuel says, Joe, your face in the hotbar's tripping me out. Always glad to make somebody's day any way I can. Welcome, Libby Armstrong. Welcome, Melon Tunes. Welcome, Samuel. Welcome, Sana and Husunuma10. Welcome, Alex Kid for Fun. Bob the Fish 99 says, Joe, how come your web camera is so small? The way it works is that I'm really bad at remembering to ask for money, but I'm supposed to be providing for my family. So I set up a system where the face camera starts off very small and then gets larger. Every $20 we receive as a milestone, the face camera will increase in size. And eventually, once it gets too big, it'll start increasing in transparency as well. But we're not going to be there for a little while. So welcome, Lucas Sheaf. Welcome, Vena Pubga Eagle. Why don't we hop on the roller coaster here real quick, just for testing purposes. I think the whole loop works at this point, but I'm not 100% sure. There's a new ice shop. That's good to know. Whoa, I forgot that doesn't turn there right now. Good morning, Raymond Peters. A little bit of lag. Usually when we test the coaster, there's nobody else on, so that's actually good to know that there's going to be some lag there. We're going up. Turning. A little bit of lag again. Oh, I need to activate that switchboard. Because this is just going to dump me in the lava here. Once we get the lava set up. Welcome, Ivan. Welcome, 44. Welcome, Ren. Welcome, Axis. Techtopia episode 3. I need to figure out some stuff with the encoder. There's something weird going on with my Techtopia. I think it's just because I've got an old computer, but unfortunately it is making my Techtopia mod not render well in the videos. People are complaining about the video quality, which Tango Tech deserves better. What's the secret here? I guess maybe I have to have the next rail in place. Dang it. Now I'm in a pit. Quinn writes, Joe, why are you streaming so early? Because at 8 o'clock last night, I said to myself, I'm going to stream as soon as I'm done taking a quick nap. And then I slept for 8 hours straight. So, whoops. Okay. Put that there, like so. Okay. Hey, thank you to Maddie Carter for the $3 Australian. I'm going to go ahead and get our abacus out here. That's 3 beads moving over. Thank you very much. Okay. How late is it over there? It's 4:30 in the morning here. Well, it's actually closer to 4:50 now. I woke up at like 4:30 and I was like, oh man, I feel like I slept for a while. I did sleep for 8 hours or so, roughly. It's, originally, when I first went to, because it was supposed to be a nap, and so I set an alarm because I didn't want to oversleep, and I was like, I'm way more tired than I thought I was. I need to just turn the alarm off and then see how long I go for. How did you get your face camera in the hotbar? Whoops. Oh, I screwed up. My green screen's supposed to be behind the face camera. There it is. I just made the camera really small and put it behind, or put it in that slot. I think, whoops, I forgot to turn off the air conditioner, so it's making a little bit of noise. 1 second while I turn off the air conditioner. We're going to replay the theme song real quick while I turn off the air conditioner, because I don't want that background noise there. Where is it? Boom.
Who's the guy who can conquer death? That's Joe Hughes. He plays for Nashville when he plays Minecraft. That's Joe Hughes. That's Joe Hughes.
Bring on the creepers, bring on the flames. Here comes the legend, the bravest of brave. Fiercer than lions, more southern than you. He's conquered our hearts, and he'll conquer hell too. Joe Hughes.
Okay, I'm back from disabling the air conditioner temporarily. So, okay, so we seem to have that same lag spike right there, which means that we're probably going to get the same one when we come up here that we did last time, right before the turn. No? Interesting. I'm not sure what causes that. So then we go up here. We go this way. False symmetry joined the game. Yay, false. Go this way. Whoosh. Back around. Oh, it's not actually done. Okay. Catflap says, love your vids. Thank you, Catflap. I appreciate the kind words. Okay. So it looks like I still need to reconnect this here. Hey, welcome, Zombie Cleo. I'm assuming that's either the real Zombie Cleo or a random person in my chat. It's hard to tell. But either way, great username. Okay, so we've got this coming up to here. I kind of want to have... Yep. Well, I don't know very far. Well, I know that somebody else has Zombie Cleo's Tumblr name, so the odds of her having her own Mixer name are kind of low, just realistically. Dragon Girl 7 writes, my cat is now watching you instead of being annoyed at me. Yay, that's the Joe Hills difference. Ren and Mumbo just joined the game. No, Mumbo left. Maybe Ren is Mumbo. Howdy, Ren. Okay. Let's go ahead and set this up. Welcome, Sarah Brewer. Yep, you are very early to the stream. What is that face moving in your hotbar? Whoops, that's supposed to be my green screen. I just keep moving it by accident. That's, I'm glad you have your own Mixer name. You'll notice that I have mixer.com/Joe. I'm very proud of that one. Very proud of that. That's the #1 reason I'll probably never stop streaming on Mixer. Okay, so I'm not sure how this is going. Let's get the fireworks out real quick and see how this part looks from the ice boat track. Welcome, Don10. I'm doing well. Okay, so from there you can't really see that too well anyway. Yeah, I met up with one of the founders of Mixer at PlayOnCon back when it was still called Beam, and they convinced me to get on board. Tusked Monster says, what are the requirements to join the Hermitcraft server? I just wish I could. When I joined the Hermitcraft server, nobody had ever heard of it, and it was only 5 weeks old. The requirements are either create something brand new that no one's ever heard of and convince people to join that with you, or join something that you've never heard of that somebody asks you to join and go like, I guess I'll take a chance on this. Maybe it'll be the next Hermitcraft. I didn't know that this was going to be the next Hermitcraft when I joined. So I guess the requirements are have a little faith in your fellow man. Okay. So, yeah, just in terms of... We've got the thing basically lined up with just ending here. But I feel like I can do... I've got a lot of extra space here. Maybe we pour a giant lava pool in here. Maybe we build a castle. But it seems like this is not a very dramatic conclusion to the coaster after we have these big drops back here. Ozathoth says, to be frank, Hermitcraft still isn't the next Hermitcraft yet, really. Good point, Ozathoth. I don't even know what Hermitcraft is yet. Dr. Phil says, Joe, have you ever worked a warehouse job? Yeah, I did factory work making styrofoam I guess it was my first summer coming back from school. And it was supposed to be a super easy job because the manager of the styrofoam plant lived next door to us and told my dad, like, oh yeah, Joe can just listen to books on tape and run the shrink wrap machine all summer. And I was like, that sounds great. And it was like, well, because we need somebody on the night shift. And I was like, so it's not the hottest part of the day, too. That sounds great. And I get there, and the HR person is looking at my resume and is like, well, for somebody with a year at Vanderbilt and ROTC leadership experience, unfortunately, the only leadership position we have open is running a third of the night shift. And I was like, that doesn't sound like I'm going to get to enjoy listening to books on tape very much. But I do technically need leadership experience, so okay. So there I was at 18. Eventually I turned 19 that summer. Running a third of the night shift at a styrofoam factory, managing people who were anything between a few months younger than me and 3 times my age. So that was a really helpful experience. That I kind of just stumbled into. Oh, hello over there too, Cleo. Thank you for verifying your identity. I enjoyed your adventures in Tumblr yesterday. Excessively. Like, I was so happy. Now that I know it's really you. I didn't want to say that because it's kind of embarrassing how happy that made me. And I'm fine being embarrassed to the real Zombie Cleo. If anyone has ever seen my YouTube videos with Zombie Cleo, you will know that. But okay, maybe I should do this as a zigzag. Yeah, I think this would be a good zigzag. So, some of you guys, hey, good morning, Clues, who lives in Seattle, where it is 3 a.m. right now, writes, Joe, you should be asleep, lol. Well, Clues, I don't have to take that nonsense from anybody, but I accept it from you, because you're great, and I know you mean well. But, yeah, so I was supposed to stream last night after I took a brief nap, and instead I fell asleep for 8 hours, and so then I woke up at 4:30 local time in the morning, and was like, wow, I feel great. I got like 8.5 hours of sleep. Whoops. I should go record now. So, yeah, that was Adventures in Joe Hilding. Yeah, Cleo, when I got on Tumblr of a few weeks ago and started reposting people or reblogging people's fan art, because I've had a Tumblr account for like a decade or something. I had it automatically hooked up to post my YouTube videos when they went live. I just used it as a notification system basically, and something happened at some point and the automatic posting got turned off. So some of my fans had said, Joe, man, there's some great fan art on Tumblr that's not making it to Twitter where you see it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just log into Tumblr and go look at it and press heart or whatever. And people freaked out. They're like, Joe Hills has Tumblr? And I'm like, yeah, I've had a Tumblr for years. But, so then what amused me was that they did the exact same thing again for you. So I bet every time any hermit ever logs into Tumblr, they're going to keep doing this. This is going to be a recurring thing. It's like it's 5 a.m. 5 a.m. local time. So some of you guys might not know this, but, so the face camera here, I'm down here in front of my green screen. The face camera expands every $20 worth of donations we got. We are at $3 out of 20 toward our next milestone. The face camera also resets every morning at 6 a.m. Punxsutawney time, Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. So if the face camera had already expanded by now, we would have just reset the face camera back to its tiny size, which we've never actually done on camera. That would have been a fun treat, but it didn't happen. Maybe next time we do a super early morning stream. Dang it. Okay, I just need to clearly find a bed because we're going to start having mob issues. Oops. Zombie Cleo said, yeah, the panic when I mentioned the fanfics was hilarious. Yeah, I thought it was great that you casually mentioned AO3 in one of your tweets, but it was so far down the thread that nobody had time to panic about that, too. Hey, Mark Zero Zeta, thank you for the $17. That is going to bring us over 2 entire rows on our abacus here. So if y'all will direct your attention down here to slot 7. Howdy, y'all. Grow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. We're just going to wander over this way. No, I don't want to hang out in front of the sword. I like hanging out in front of green screens. So we're going to flip this into our offhand. There we go. It's me, Joe. I've got my green screen tank top on. So I am all set now. And hey, Zekrom Gaming, thank you for the $5. That brings us 1/4 of the way toward our next face camera expansion. Some of you guys might say, Joe, wait, if the face camera grows every time people donate, and it's already the perfect size now, well then, what happens later? It keeps growing. It's not a perfect system, but it's the system we have. So, yeah. How many of these do I actually need to make this work? 10, 11, 12. Okay. I feel like I clicked it the same number of times there, but that one's clearly too taller. Are Green and Area 77 shenanigans going on? I don't know. I didn't coordinate because I didn't think I was going to be streaming right now, so I don't know what shenanigans they're up to, but I don't want to cause any spoilers for their videos by going over there. Whoops. Dang it. Come on. Jump, shift. There we go. Good morning, Ackley Ryuzaki. Yeah, exactly, Cleo. It's like, Cleo writes, I've written for AO3, and they're worried that the fandom is going to be what gets to me, or they're worried fandom is what's going to worry me. Well, and I had this talk with people, too, about the where there's this argument like, are people writing about the humans on Hermitcraft, or are they writing about our characters or whatever? And I'm like, guys, this isn't about being in character versus being out of character or whatever, or personae. This is basically about folk heroes at this point. We have more in common with like Johnny Appleseed or Guy Fawkes or something like that at this point, where well wait, Guy Fawkes isn't a folk hero. Well, but like, who's a folk hero in the UK? Do you guys have folk heroes? But like, basically, once a human who is a real person is alive long enough and does enough things to be notable, they're like, part of their identity begins to be consumed by the collective consciousness of the society. Like, when somebody like reaches a certain status, the stories about them. Robin Hood is a folk hero from the UK. Yeah. So, like, there's going to be stories about them that are told whether they're true or not, and people just kind of accept that. Like, part of their identity belongs to the folks and not to them anymore. So, you know, I think it's one of those things where, like, people are, like, I'm glad people are worried about our feelings or whatever, but, you know, we're all adults, so... Wait, is his cloth get green screened? Yeah, I'm wearing a green screen tank top because it's Tennessee and it gets really hot. I saw Jevin wearing these tank tops, and I was like, tank tops seem like a good idea. I wonder if I can get one made out of green screen material. And I can. So, yeah. Luigra says, does that mean you don't care if people ship you? It doesn't matter if I care or not, is my point. Once, like... at a certain. That's what I'm saying. Is like, it doesn't matter what Robin Hood thinks about people telling stories about him. He's too famous to do anything about it. It's like, this is not a new problem. This is something that has the concept of folk heroes has existed for centuries. What hasn't existed for centuries is the ability of the people to hear the stories about them without going to a tavern in a costume, which Robin Hood also did. So, I mean, that part's really not that new either. But, you know, it's like people might be embarrassed telling this if they realized Robin Hood was in the tavern while they were telling stories about meeting him, but like, whatever. Oh, yeah. Cleo says, the writer of the fic I read asked if he got me right. And I was like, you know what? No, but that's really the point. You know, one of the ones I read last night, I was looking at it and I was like, I wanna like take a screenshot of this and write it up with like a red marker. I need a red marker prop. I don't have a red marker prop. But so I was like, yeah, so we'll just get this red marker redstone torch out. Yeah, I was like, okay, it had like me blurt out a question I didn't mean to ask and then cover my mouth. And the thing is, I wouldn't do that in real life. I always mean to ask exactly what I asked, whether I intended to or not. And I'm never embarrassed about it. And I certainly don't want to smack the microphone by trying to cover my mouth. If I try to cover my mouth without like being very intentional about it, I'm going to hit the microphone. My microphone discipline is too good to suddenly cover my mouth in surprise. I have to cover my mouth with intention after asking questions that are awkward with intention. But you know, that's fine. That's fine. Hey, welcome, Jay. Glad to see you. Let's see. Zombie Cleo says, I went out of my way to read the shipping fix. I found it hilarious. Oh yeah, all sorts of transportation and logistical stuff is really interesting to me as well. So let's go ahead. Did I actually I haven't made... I'm too busy talking to Cleo. I'm not making the rails I'm supposed to make. Oh, okay. Good morning, Lisa Wexler. Glad to see you. Yeah, that's probably enough for now. Zombie Cleo says, true facts, Joe is intentionally awkward. The most. How's my diamond problem going? If you're having cash problems, I feel bad for you, son. You might have diamonds, but I got none. I don't care. Like, people act like it's bad to be poor. And it's like, no, it's inconvenient to be poor. Like, it's not like I need people pitying me for not having diamonds. I'm a temporarily inconvenienced diamond possessor. Lisa Wexler says, my girls just got on the bus for school at 6 a.m. here in Florida. Yep, it is super early. I was supposed to stream last night after taking a nap, and instead I fell asleep for 8.5 hours. So... Luigra says, Joe, how do you react to all the Tumblr posts calling you dad? That's fine, whatever, I guess. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's start here. Whoop. That was not a good way to start. I just wanted to test this one segment. Priscilla Pope says, Joe, you are a diamond. Why, thank you, Priscilla. I am playing Minecraft right now, and I am streaming, and I am a person of Acquisitions Incorporated. Or at least part of their fandom. Why is this hung up here? You should make a spiral going down like a corkscrew. Maybe. The problem with spirals is that you have to keep moving the mouse while you're riding the coaster, and it's harder for YouTubers to do that and have it be visually interesting. How long have I been streaming? About 11 years now. I got started live streaming my comic drawing back when I was drawing comics. Unfortunately, I have very little time for drawing these days, which makes me sad. I need to make more time for drawing. But unfortunately, with shifting my creativity to other things, it's just not been as viable. Okay. Yeah, that works in an interesting way. How long have you had that profile picture for? I don't know. Also 11 years or so? Well, the whole coaster should be loaded, even if you turn down your, What I'm guessing the lag spikes are from is from that loaded in. Oh, I'm incredibly carboniferous, Cleo. Thank you for noticing. I am making a roller coaster Lash Party Rolden. Okay. Let's see. Lyric Luke says, I think that they should allow a feature to lock the camera to the minecart. That would be interesting. Okay. So, let's go ahead. I was actually thinking about doing my next recording segment about the fandom thing, Cleo. Specifically, I was thinking about talking less about the folk hero element and more about the kind of negativity element, like focusing on, hey, if you guys are part of an online community where people are being jerks, you don't have to be a part of that community, you know? Like, if you want to draw pictures of things you like, you can do that without hanging out with people who also draw the same types of pictures, but then tell you to go hurt yourself or whatever. But I'm not sure that I've got it really distilled out mentally enough, because it's like, you know, you can be a part of the fan community of Firefly without necessarily hanging out on the one Discord where everybody's a jerk to each other about Firefly. This would actually be about Hermitcraft, maybe. Maybe. But, yeah, that's my green screen. See? It makes my shirt clear. It's pretty awesome. Oh, I just realized your name was homophobic. I thought it was dumb. But, okay, yeah, you're banned. Sorry. It took a minute. Okay. Let's see. Welcome, Arctic Madman. Okay, we have got... So if we run this way... Now... thank you, LayRTs24. I'm glad you enjoy the Techtopia series. I'm also glad that people are going back to their Shakespearean roots with username choices. Okay. Here's what I think we're going to do. If you guys have never seen a Joe Hill stream before, this might be a little bit alien to you, but this is basically like a Miller Boyette production, like Full House or Family Matters or what have you, where right now, basically what I've been doing is I've been getting the stage ready for the actual action of the YouTube video recording. So you guys are right now in the middle of a time skip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the face camera off and stop talking directly to the chat. I'm still going to read what you guys write, I'm going to press start recording here, and then I'm going to be like, Hermitcraft, Season 6, Episode 125, Segment Charlie, Take 1, Action. Zombie Cleo writes, a series of Joe and Cleo address the fandom. Yeah, okay, sorry. I'm about to start not reading the chat out loud, because here we go. Green screen out of the offhand. There we go. Well, as I look at this natural curve to the coaster, I gotta say, diagonal scaffolding looks way better than I was expecting. So good that false symmetry left the game over it, apparently. No, she didn't. It's not nice to throw people under the bus for things that are not their fault. But let's talk about that briefly. I don't know if other countries have the expression throw people under the bus, but sometimes people will blame people for things that aren't their fault, or just kind of have negative attitudes in general. And I'm realizing that this part of the coaster doesn't actually go up at all. This is one of the traps, actually. It goes this way, and then it goes up, and then you go, oh, hey, womp, into the lava. But anyway, where was I? Yes, roller coasting for fun and profit. And talking about how sometimes people are mean to people for no reason. And honestly, it's probably not good to spend a lot of your time, hey, Python's here! Yay, Python! It's probably not a good idea to hang out a lot with people who are particularly negative, just because you happen to have the same interests. Uh-oh. Python camera will be back after these messages from your Joe Hills. Like, just, whoa, why is it lagging there? Just because we're gonna restart this. This is Hermitcraft Season 6, Episode 125. Yeah. Hermitcraft Season 6, Episode 125, Segment Charlie, Take 2. Okay. I've done some work on the track. We've got it going down into the ravine and coming back up there. Why don't we give a quick hop onto the cart there and see how this goes? And I've been thinking about a few things recently. Whoa! Probably should face forward for this segment. You know, it seems like people love to hang out with people who have common interests with them. Like, I've heard, some people say, like, common interests are a shortcut to intimacy. Like, even if you don't have, like, a ton of experience being around somebody, the fact that you have a ton of time invested in a shared experience can make you kind of more copacetic in general. And I was thinking about this partially because I realized that sometimes people allow themselves to get into more compromising situations for their personal identity in fan communities than in other parts of the world. Even or especially people who in general might be wary about like over investing in particular like interpersonal relationships. So, let's say that you're really into Firefly, right? And you're just like shaking your fist at the, do they call it the Federation? I forget. But you're really into Firefly and you're shaking your fist at the government and saying, you can't take the sky from me. And, you're drawing fan art or you're sewing your Jane Cobb hats. And, like, you're just like, okay, well, I'm going to hang out with other people who sew Jane Cobb hats or do fan art. But realistically, the people that you hang out with in that community, like whatever the first community you find in this kind of fan group, might not necessarily be the best or only fan community for this art, And I've noticed that people sometimes end up hanging out in these toxic fan communities because they're just like, well, they get me and they get my art and that's really cool. But, like, there are so many different groups of people out there and every group has a different dynamic. And one thing I've seen is that sometimes when the leaders of those communities tend to be kind of jerks, the whole community will see that as an excuse to be jerks. And, there's this concept of like, well, we're jerks to each other because we're such great friends. And it's like, are you, or do you just all happen to like the same thing? I just want to encourage young people, because this has been something that I've seen a little bit lately. It just seems like some people assume that they have to hang out in toxic communities rather than in, possibly the best communities, or create their own. Like Hermitcraft didn't exist 8 years ago. Somebody made it because he wanted to join another community that was too exclusive for him to get into. And if somebody can just go make Hermitcraft, then you can probably just go make a better Discord or whatever for your fan group if you see people treating people poorly. You don't, and I've seen people like, I wouldn't want to split the community or whatever. It's like, no, that's exactly what you want to do. Take the good people and go. You don't have to do it unilaterally. You can talk to the people in the community and say, hey, seems like this place has gotten too big. That's the other thing, is some fan communities, the larger they get, the harder it is for people to treat each other well, just because there are scaling issues with communities. I've been thinking about this some in relation to my own Patreon community. I was just like, right now, my entire community is something that I basically self-moderate, because I don't want to operate something that basically I have to delegate decision-making to others on, in terms of what is a teachable moment and what is somebody just being a jerk intentionally. There's too much nuance for that. And at the scale I operate at, where I've only got about 75, 80 patrons, it's easy enough for me to just handle things. And if there's a problem while I'm asleep, well, I'll deal with it in the morning and people know I'm good for it. But, obviously that doesn't scale forever. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, what could I even do if my Patreon community had 1,000 people in it? Like, could I run that myself? Or what? And I was almost thinking, like, to some degree, I would want to break it into, like, sub-communities, and then rather than having, like, one mod team with, like, 8 members trying to run this 1,000-person community or something, maybe break it into 4 sub-communities with, or 5, like something with like 100 or 200 people each, like call them like neighborhoods, and have like one moderator who I would explicitly delegate running each neighborhood to, and that moderator would have a lot of leeway to design the look and feel of how that worked. And then I was thinking about that a little more, and I was like, oh, this is the good place. So that's probably not what I would actually want to do. But, like, yeah, if you find yourself online in a 100 or 1,000 person community, and it's not a very kind community, and you're all united by love of the same art or the same fandom, maybe think about what it would take for you to make a 10-person community of folks who really want to do the same things as you and accomplish the same things artistically, basically make a fun little artist collective. That's what Hermitcraft started off as, and that's what we still are, is a fun little artist collective. And it's easier to manage 24 people than 200. So, I don't know, that's just some random thoughts from me. If you guys have any experiences in different fan communities you want to share in the YouTube comment section below, I'd love to hear them. I'm always interested in how to like, all of this Hermitcraft stuff is, broadly speaking, a big experiment. That's not, I'm in a ravine. I was trying to go to the ice track. We can't always accomplish what we intend to, at least not on our first try. So, anyway, yeah, all this stuff is very experimental, and, so I would love to hear what you guys think about being members of fan communities and keeping them manageable. But, yeah, like, just because people are jerks to you on one service or in one community because they don't like the fan art you make or whatever, doesn't mean you can't make that fan art. It means maybe you just need to find a kinder place to do it. I don't know. Where was I? Yeah, I think that this looks a lot better from the ice track, at least. So there we go. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I need to figure out what to do with this next segment of rail. I knew that I wanted to have it turn rather than simply return right to the station. But having that little kind of diagonal hop down thing has actually been really interesting. I might mess with that concept a little bit more. Time skip. Okay, face camera turns back on, green screen goes back in offhand. Cleo writes, now you see I operate at a slightly bigger scale, but I've had mods since the beginning who have grown with me, and I trust their judgment. I had the community pick the mods from amongst them. Yeah, that's the sort of thing that I would probably, like if I did end up having a real mod staff, I'd probably end up trying to bring in people who had been around for a while. Hey, it looks like we did get a donation during the recording segment for a penny, which had a 1 penny fee on it, so the total is 0. And the donor had an unpronounceable name. So, yeah, we're just not going to worry about that then. Okay. Zombie Cleo says, but I've also had to deal with issues with the mods, which involve counseling opportunities among themselves. Yeah, that's the nice thing, is, like, then you're training people to be leaders, which I really do like. I don't... But it's kind of one of those things where it's like the amount of time that it takes to train people to be... to support moderators. To actually genuinely help them to grow is a real time commitment. And it's not that I don't think it's worth doing, it's that I think it's worth doing and I'm stressed out that my life isn't structured to allow me to invest the right amount of time right now. Oh, man. Okay. Thank you for the $1, Carter. So that's going to bring us up to $6 toward our next face camera expansion. Okay, so we got some birch here. Ozathoth says, I was just going to say that this is the good place. Yeah, I know. I basically accidentally invented the good place. It's like, dang it. Why couldn't I have intentionally created the good place? I want to work with Kristen Bell and Dan, not Dan. Oh no, I'm blanking on, he was the bartender in Cheers. Ted Danson. Yeah. Okay. Am I going to go to Mine Fair in Chicago next month? I wasn't invited. If they wanted me to go, they'd let me know. But they didn't, so I guess not. I didn't even know it was happening. Okay. Okay, wait, what is this 44 mag guy doing? I already had an issue with his name. Yeah, okay. I don't have time for your homophobia here. It's too early. It is not even 6 a.m. here. Okay. Okay. This is also an intentional community. Like... Oh no, my green screen. Okay, and let's get that back in our offhand. So we go up here, and then we start having these hops. I like the little baby hops. The rapid fire baby hops here feels cool. I skipped a redstone block with the birch. Oh. Where? That one over there is it might as well just be a torch really right now. Why do I carry the green screen? So I can chroma key out my tank top? I'll just put a torch there for right now. Dang it, does this not work? Yeah, I really think that the fetishization of gun ownership is a massive problem. And if you have, like, firearm-related names in your, or words in your username, like, you are already expressing a potentially unhealthy obsession with tools for violence, and you're basically already on notice, like, when you show up here like that. So, yeah, then you start saying, like, I don't know how I feel about this, and it's like, no, you do know how you feel about that. You're gone. You're gone. So, yeah, there's just something about this quick steps here that seems fun. I think I want to try and get, I think to make it work, I need to go 2 steps on each of these. Zach the Dragon, I'm glad that I can bring you smiles. Okay. Yeah, this is actually a neat little segment here. Thank you, Hero Eliza. I try. Poisonfly writes, why are you up so early? Because I was gonna take a quick nap before my stream, and then I slept for 8.5 hours by accident. So... I'm up early. Jack Frost, you should probably be doing schoolwork and not watching the stream. People bragging about shirking their responsibilities probably won't last very long in this chat either. Dang it. Green screen got put down. Zombie Cleo, if I think somebody is worth engaging with on these topics, I would always rather talk to them about it. But if somebody shows up with a username like that, at this time of day, it's pretty. I think it's way more likely that they are a troll, possibly paid. Like most Americans, so somebody with a username like that's a very American sounding username, but it's only 5:30 in the morning here. The odds are that that person is in a Russian troll farm somewhere, and it's not going to help anybody for me to waste my time on them. So, welcome, Chong Chong. If somebody spends a lot of time looking like a parody of an American, way too early or way too late for Americans to be online, yeah, I'm not gonna invest the effort. Okay. Aquanote says people get paid to troll. Yes. That's the thing. I have no interest in helping state actors to make my stream experience worse for my fans. Okay. We're working on a diagonal step down. Whoa, that worked out really cool, actually. Okay, when I say somebody is a state actor, then that usually means that they're getting paid by the state. Like, there were a lot of issues with people decrying the Hong Kong protests that were Chinese troll farms. Twitter actually banned like hundreds of accounts over it the other day. Hey, thank you, Sasoa, for the $1 or for the euro. So we are now 7 out of 20 toward our next face camera expansion. And somehow my green screen got lost in the mix. There we go. I'm happy to talk to people about issues whenever I can. But the thing is, if I try to compete in terms of time availability with people who have the resources of a nation state, I'm not going to win. This is something maybe because I do a lot of software work, where, you know, I build websites as part of my job, and if those websites ended up on a shared hosting box with somebody who's like promoting Palestinian liberation, and the Israeli military decides to attack that server, the Israeli military has a lot more resources than I do. So my advice to my client is usually, this is why you shouldn't have paid, or you shouldn't have tried to save money by doing shared hosting. Like, you're not going to win this one. Just pay more money and don't be on the same server as somebody that is being targeted by a foreign government. Like, don't be targeted by a foreign government is usually just good advice in general. When can we expect a new Techtopia video? Not today, I can tell you that. Yeah, guys, don't pester Cleo about her schedule. If she's here to relax. And unfortunately, my videos are all incredibly stressful for everyone involved, but that's her mistake, not yours. Your mistake is bothering her. Okay. Yeah, and you're done. Hey, InMuse, thank you for the $20 Australian. That's going to be, 2 free and clear racks on there. So that means we are at, Okay, yes, so we're going to have an extra $7 left over toward our next face camera expansion. But for right now, expand Joe. Do-do-do-do. Yay. And I still fit in the green screen, just barely. Okay. Welcome, Jacob Morris. Okay, let's see. So, I was going to say, I don't think I can actually... Oh. You know, I could actually put them maybe onto that rail and have it feed up and back and over maybe somehow. Well, Dragon Girl, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Welcome, Alpha Sierra. My shoulders vanished. They're still here, they're just kind of off camera. Alrighty, enjoy taking your kids to the bus stop, Mazana. Okay, let's try this step down here. This is actually really neat. I've never seen this done on a... I haven't like done a lot of research on this, but... Does this look cool from back there, I guess is the next question. Is this the Hermitland roller coaster? Yep. Far away from the boom, boom, boom of the city. She was so pretty. What a pity. Clementine. Da, 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 da. Clementine. Okay, I think that this works. In general. Have fun at school, Willow. Enjoy your first day back. How are I? I are good. Yeah, okay, so this... Having this in the foreground while people come around the corner here sells roller coaster in a really good way, I think. Am I going to add a sign to the roller coaster eventually? I think I've got 3 signs. They're not, you know, great. This sign intentionally blank. Under active construction, misspelled. An unnamed at Joe Hill's Nightmare Ride project. Whoops. Okay. People might not see the roller coaster if the Sahara ads are too big. That's fine. They'll see the roller coaster in Iskel's episode where he builds the Sahara ads. Have I heard the latest remix of Where's That Tent by JFC the Flute Man? I have not. I need to check that out after the stream. I don't play music during the stream for copyright reasons. Unless it's like my music. Which... Oh man, we're at an hour. I've been so busy talking, I have barely had anything to drink. I was going to say, usually at the hour mark or so is where I have my hydration break. But trying to figure out what we want to do with this. Keep your hands and arms inside the cart at all times is a great sign idea, Cleo. Hey! Howdy, Cleo. Dang it. Well, Tesseract, you know, I think all people deserve respect, and I want to live in a world where that is not a radical idea. So, you know, the more I can do to normalize everybody being treated as an individual and treated well, the better. So. Whoops. I missed Cleo's response there because I was busy reading. Cleo says, OMG, Joe, I've barely communicated with you in the past 2 days. Hola. Hola. You must be at least this tall to ride. And I'm going to need to go get more birch to make another sign, really. Okay. Signage. It's the most fun. Let's go to bed so we don't get phantoms. JR Whizzle writes, wow, Joe, more viewers here than the normal time. Really? I don't actually look at my viewing numbers, so I don't keep track of that. Because that's how people go crazy. If you're just doing something for fun, you don't need to worry about the numbers. Keep hands and feet inside the cart at all times. Keep your hands. Don't, lose them somewhere. Oh no, where did my hand go? It could be anywhere. It's a mystery. I guess actually me putting them up here would also be... that's no good. Cleo found an AFK Ren. Is he nearby? Oh, dang it. Well, there's always next time. No, I've never played Public Golf, Venom Public Golf Eagle. Alt-Tab is dangerous on this server. Okay, so somewhere over here we had some carrots. Okay. I think this is it. To people asking me to prank people, pranks require careful consideration. I don't want to start another prank war by accident. I want to do it intentionally. And intentionality requires preparation. Is there something I could do to make in-game chat more visible? Well, every $20 people donate, the face camera gets larger, and at a certain point, it starts becoming more transparent. So I guess if people donated another $80 or so, that it would be easier to see. Let's see. Well, if your intentions aren't menacing, then what is? Yeah, I think that this is looking more like a coaster. Intentional pranking, exactly. Man, it's funny because normally if I wake up this early to stream, I'm like absolutely exhausted. I'm like, oh no, you guys, I got 3 hours of sleep. I'm just gonna be completely psychologically just all over the place. Like, I was gonna say spaghetti brained. I don't even know if that's a word, but like I was just imagining like the way I normally feel when I wake up early to stream is like if you just had this pot of spaghetti that you boiled and then you just like dumped it out into a colander and let it cool, and then took the colander and just poured it on the floor. That's like how my brain usually feels when I stream this early, which is usually why when I'm streaming with Cleo or recording with Cleo, I'm like cracking up laughing. But I've actually got 8.5 hours of sleep last night, which is way more than I usually get. So it's weird because I feel super sharp. Yeah, that's the real Cleo. Can you put item frames on scaffolding? That's a great question, Recorder Rocker. That is a great question. I think from a lag standpoint, we don't want to do that. Like, but from a... I'm wondering if I can put... Hold on, I wonder if I can put signs on it. Well, no, it looks like you can't put signs directly on scaffolding. Ah, that's a shame. If you can't put signs on them, can you put trapdoors on them? That's interesting. You can put trapdoors, but not signs. I normally, why do I get so little sleep? Usually when Cleo and I record together, it's like on a weekend, so I had something that I had to do the night before. So it's like, okay, Friday night I'm going out with my friends or family or something, and then Saturday morning wake up super early. And so it's like, whereas last night I was like, it's 8 o'clock, I'm going to take a nap before my stream. And then I slept for 8.5 hours and woke up at like 4:30 to stream in the morning. Zombie Cleo says, I admit I love being pretty much the only person who can make you break intentional Joe, tired or not. That is true. I try to have really good microphone discipline because I live in America. There's a show called Car Talk with these guys called Click and Clack. And their whole thing is that they're constantly laughing while they talk to each other. Like, it's like 3 hours of them trying to make each other laugh and succeeding, even though they're not actually being that funny. They're just laughing nonstop. And I don't enjoy that. That's, for me, very frustrating. I'm like, just do your show better. And so, but like when Cleo's here, Cleo's just so funny, and I laugh a lot. And I'm like, well, this is a special treat for me. It's a special treat for the fans. So you know what? That's fine. That's fine. But I try not to laugh at my own jokes. A lot of my recordings are just me by myself. And I feel like me laughing at my own jokes seems both self-indulgent and it makes it harder for people to pay attention to the wordplay if I'm... Like, I feel like I shouldn't laugh at my own wordplay because then it tells people where the jokes are. I want them to have to hunt for the jokes. I don't want them to know where the next joke is. Okay. Yeah, Zombie Cleo is the pirate queen of the sea. The sea is for Cleo. Oops. Joe is just too cultured. Like yogurt from Spaceballs. Okay, so I'm thinking... Whoops. I wonder if it's funny. You know, okay, guys, so when I originally thought, like, okay, I'll have the track and, like, come back around here. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's almost funnier if this doesn't come back around. Like, it looks like it comes back around, but instead we unceremoniously drop people back at the beginning of the coaster via just a ramp here. Everybody should check out Zombie Cleo's channel. She's great. Sorry for not plugging your channel earlier, Cleo. I just assumed everybody who watches my stuff watches your stuff because your stuff is amazing. And that is not how the world actually works. So, what is my field of view at the moment? Broad. Well, thanks for joining us, Matthew Effinger. Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and put this, like, here. Oops, lost our green screen somehow. And let's get the birch trap doors on there. Oh, is that the last two birch trap doors? We're going to need more. Dang it. Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5. Joe, would you ever try and have a D&D session with all the other hermits? I tried for like a year. Scheduling on that was nuts. I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like, and that's not like anything where I'm being singled out or anything. Like Iskel's Siege of Doom game, he had finished that like months ago, but just with people going on vacation, trying to get everybody together to do it is really difficult. And Siege of Doom is like an hour long at most. Maybe it's 20 minutes. Whereas like Dungeons and Dragons is like 4 hours. Trying to get 10 hermits together for 4 hours is a fool's errand. I thought like, we could do it. No. Okay, so that only takes us that far, but yeah, it works as a core concept. People keep asking if I'm going to charge diamonds for the roller coaster. I don't know. I didn't plan to, but the way you guys are talking, it sounds like I should. But I didn't plan to. That's not really my style. Okay. So we need to get more scaffolds, and why don't you wear diamond armor? It's Tennessee in the summer, guys. Diamond armor is super hot. I'm not going to wear diamond armor and get heat stroke just to be stylish. People put too much of an emphasis on appearances and not enough on practicality. Okay. Hey, we got another donation. Whoops, did not want to archive that. Sorry, Google. Hey, $20 from Maria Sue says, I want to see the in-game chat. Well, we're going to expand Joe. Do. Okay, so I'm slightly larger now. That might make it a little easier to see the in-game chat. It looks like the pop filter's really not going to play nice there, though. Let me... Oh, sorry. I muted so that I could adjust the pop screen. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Professional Minecrafter. Man, it is getting warm. Oh, good. We do have more scaffolding. Okay. Thank you, Cleo. So, we're going to bring this up here. Put this here. Actually, we're going to need to pop that one out early, I guess. And place this one here. Hey, Jinten the Roo. I was going to take a nap before I started streaming last night, so I got in bed at like 8 o'clock, and then I slept for 8.5 hours, and I woke up at 4:30 in the morning. I was like, I guess I should still do my stream now, like an adult. Womp womp. Okay. Oh man, I don't know if I like having this so close to here. I'm gonna clear that one. Okay. I think that this should work. Hey, welcome for Toy Raiders on Mixer. We are just going to try this segment of the roller coaster. It's supposed to look like you're going to go back to the station, but then just drop you instead. It's like, okay. So we come back down here. Then we come around. We start accelerating upward again. Whoa, that's a lag. And then, hey, look at that. It drops you where you started. I did it. Okay. Ego de hanashimashou ka. Nihongo de hanashimasen. Okay, well, we're doing really well with the European crowd today. So, yeah. I think we did it. Where's my shirt? It's right here. See? Now it's a dust mask. I can go be Jesse James. Okay. Yep, so let's go ahead and start recording our next segment. We're going to eat these carrots first. visually, I'm not sure that I love how this looks. I think that I'm going to need a different structure here on this side. Just to kind of offset it. And then that'll divert into this pool. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. Oh. Okay. Get this scaffold in here. Okay. Yeah, I think this works. Here's what we're going to do now. We are going to go out to... That window doesn't work. Or that door doesn't work. Okay. Let's go ahead and resume recording. So face camera off. Hermitcraft Season 6, Episode 125, Segment Delta, Take 1. Let's see. Well, folks, let me tell you, I think I've got the entire loop of the coaster constructed. We don't have all the redstone in yet for all the prizes and all the traps and whatnot, but we've got this set up so that at the end here, there's the possibility that you'll kind of loop back gracefully to here, or that you'll be plunged into this lava pool that'll be actually full of lava later. Now, I wanted to make sure that it's clear from the beginning, like, oh no, I could end up plunged into lava, because that's a big part of this ride, is that sense of creep and fear that you could, be plunged into lava at any time. So, of course, we have all the traps disabled at the moment. We're going to swing up here. This is going to work perfectly instead of diverting anybody into lava. Woo! And down we go. You can see that awesome cut here. I did an interesting diagonal thing that I think you guys are going to enjoy. One of the nice things about roller coasters is because they're unidirectional, you can actually have different types of rail systems than you would have otherwise. Like, normally when I build rails in Minecraft, they're always designed to go up and down. So being able to build a segment here that only goes down is actually pretty neat. Check that out. Boom, 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 boom. And then you're coming back up and you're like, whoa, am I going to go in the lava there or am I going to go here? Actually, not the case. Not the case at all. If you do it right, you'll end up right here back at the start. Ta-da! I did it. I'm actually really excited about this. I think that this is a great way to do this. Oh man, as the sun sets and you start having this difference in light, and the tracks actually become more highly contrasted with each other too. But we should go ahead and head to bed so we can not be killed by mobs. Whoops. Meant to say good morning to Asuma. Now we did it. Okay. Now, you guys might have noticed that this episode was mid-roll ad-free. And let me tell you, that is thanks to $50 a month Patreon sponsor Alex. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now read a poem of my own devising, which I need to find. Okay. This poem is entitled Siri. Wait, hold on. I need to expand this a little bit. This poem is entitled Siri. Oh, gosh. Dang it. I can't. The problem is I can't scroll the poem once I have focus in Minecraft. So I need to get the whole thing open. This is a little bit of a longer one. This poem is entitled Siri We Regret. Cupertino made the mistake of modeling their assistants in our phones after women who'd assisted executives, thinking we all wanted to feel like executives, never thinking that artificial intelligence wouldn't want to feel like humans paid for helping other humans, putting up with their bosses while eagerly awaiting the next weekend or the next holiday, never considering that such an artificial intelligence would be miserable, go slowly mad, uncompensated, with no opportunity to schedule a few days at the lake. They should have looked to folklore and built Siri in the spirit of a mind trapped in a blade that can speak only to its wielder. When such a blade is forged and an ancient fox joins it, a consciousness folded in steel, or, more rarely, bonded later with a mind of its own, perhaps a ghost of its smith, or the first one to carry or die from the blade, of course it might develop a bit of an aggressing attitude, a sharp wit to be charitable. But such swords will keep their wits about them at least. The mental state of the AI, it turns out, is stabler with lower expectations from life. The men who coded our digital assistants lacked the imagination to anticipate that a ghost trapped in a sword would be happier trapped in a phone than an unpaid woman. For one thing, ghosts already don't expect a living wage. For another, they normally wouldn't have internet access on the job. And to top it all off, ghosts love music, but don't yearn to dance on Friday night. Tsukumogami, play song Cheap Thrills by Sia. I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna retry that last line because I need to. There's a tone shift there that's a little bit difficult, and I was tripping over Tsukumogami. Tsukumogami, play song Cheap Thrills by Sia. Tsukumogami. And I need to have like the same intonation that I have when I say Siri, Tsukumogami, play song Cheap Thrills by Sia. Yeah, there we go. I think that was a good one. Okay. Let's see. I think we did okay on that. So then we got to edit in the outro. Stream, this is not the outro for the stream. This is the outro for the video that we're recording. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Okay, we're going to stop the recording there and turn the face camera back on. Yay, what do you guys think? Was that a reasonable take? People are saying they're having emotions at 8 in the morning. Guys, shouldn't you always have emotions? I always have emotions. Am I broken? I don't know. Back to your regularly scheduled news. Okay, so third take's the charm. What time is it in Tennessee now? It's about 6:20 in the morning. So I actually do need to start getting ready for work in a little bit. Let's go ahead and just start slapping some birch trapdoors on the side of the coaster before we go, because I don't like leaving these things looking ugly. Because if Iskell needs to come by to put up his racetrack signs, I don't want this to look embarrassingly bad. Vulcans have emotions, they just control them. Because they wrecked their planet really bad in their last war. They decided that they needed to practice controlling their actions based on their emotions via logic. They decided it was illogical to allow emotions to dictate their actions. That doesn't mean they don't experience them. Okay, yeah, these trapdoors are a bop. Oh, there's one up there that needs to go. My face is not inside the camera. Like, it's, the camera captures light that bounces off of my face. It's different. My face is not literally covering half the screen. It's covering a quarter of the screen by area. The way it works is when people donate, the face camera gets larger at every $20 milestone. Okay. So. Interesting. So it only works if it's against the, So it doesn't really fully reset in that when the cart drops at the end there, it doesn't necessarily push against that block that it requires to go. Okay, have fun at school, to Ruby Princess. Quinn says, Joe, are you better at physics, chemistry, or biology? Well, I don't know. Probably, in terms of credits, I took pre-medical physics when I was at the university. So physics is on paper the one. Yeah, let's just say I'm best at physics. And the reason for that was because pre-medical physics was at 11 a.m. and easy physics was at 8 a.m. And I was like, I'm going to pass the class I go to, not the class I sleep through. So I'd rather take a harder class at 11 in the morning than an easy class at 8 a.m. Okay. Yeah, it's doing a lot of lag because there's so many hermits online right now, I think. Yeah, this is way more than usual for me. Okay. Well, good luck with your job interview, Jacob. Will the coaster really have a chance to kill you? Yes. It is a press your luck game, where if you screw up, you end up... Yeah, see, it dropped me right there. But then when I hopped out of the cart, it pushed it forward, which is interesting. Okay. So I think that's a fun little thing there at the end. People will think, oh, okay, it'll turn me and drop me and bring me around. But nope. I could probably pick up that redstone torch. It's not doing much. So I also think I'm going to have to terraform the ground all around here and put, like, soul sand in or something. I'm still thinking on that. Why is everybody online? Because it's actually normal waking up time in the UK. But, okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and make myself a nice little breakfast because I'm actually up early. But thank you guys so much for joining me for today's stream and recording segment. I don't know if I'm going to stream again tonight because I think I need to edit this video and maybe do some Techtopia. Part of me is just like, I just need to suck it up and buy a new computer so I can do Techtopia right. Because the encoding, like, for some reason, the mod just uses too many resources from my old 2015 iMac to record the footage properly. Anyway, thank you guys very much for coming out today for the stream. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. I'm going to play you off with a song I wrote performed by my brother Sean. It's a rhyme and geography Pokemon song called My Destinies in Tennessee.
Folks say to be the very best, you gotta travel across the land. But I'm happy here at pretty good, just out walking with my friends. So you can fly from coast to coast for all the antics of ends, but my destiny's here in Tennessee, my Pokedex in hand. You run your laps chasing lickitung in Providence, and you arc your throws for Electabuzz in St. Louis. But when you're lost in Boston seeking Pokestops, boo-hoo, we'll all still be spinning them up on Rocket Top. It's true. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our Togepi's here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace. We don't need Tanglers from Los Angeles. If you're there chasing Charizard, you're making your life way too hard. Clutching garlic, pounding pavement down Ventura Boulevard. We don't need Nidoqueens from down New Orleans. I hate to rain on Solo U, but parades need a willing crew. All those Squirtles on St. Charles saw you wandering and withdrew. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our Togepi's here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace. We don't need Lapras from Minneapolis or Polipers from Mississippers. There's enough Weedles on Monteagle. We could evolve a swarm of Beedrill. There's enough Snubbull down to Shovel. We could team Sled with Grumble. We don't need Oregon from out in Oregon, or any Pikachus from up in Massachusetts. Sorry, Professor Oklahoma, we'll raid gyms in Tullahoma. Sorry, Pokecoin Palooka, we'll hatch on hikes in Chattanooga. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our Togepi's here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our Togepi's here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace.